Hey guys, Schostak here. Hope you are doing well. And I am really excited to talk to you about this topic because this is a topic that I work with often in my work with singles, those who are divorced, those who have been single for years, those who have been in relationships where they've really tried to make a go of it, right? And in my work with singles and in my work with those people who are divorced or they've been to different advisors, they've been to different therapists, one of the major components of relationships that usually do not work out is when one or both parties going into the relationship have some type of idea in their brain that says things will get better. Okay? So they're looking at the person that they're dating, they're looking at the person that they're going out with, or they look at the person who they are married to, or they're looking at the person who they're in a long time relationship with. So it can happen in any of the phases, right? It could be when you're prospecting for dating, it could be when you're actually dating, or it could be when you're in the relationship itself. And I really want you to understand that this dilemma that many people go through, myself included, when I was single for many years, before I got into my relationship, which I'm in now, going 17 plus years strong, is this idea that there is something about this person's way of being or personality that I don't like or that I don't appreciate. And if I just stay in this a little bit longer and prove to them that they are acting or behaving incorrectly, they will change. And then by their change, I will be happy. And then the relationship will be healthy. Okay, so this is something that many people do in order to justify and rationalize why they are staying in something for so long, or when they're on a date and they're majorly physically attracted to the person. This is sometimes also leads to the problem. They're majorly attracted to the person. And because the physical attraction is so strong from the biological perspective, it is willing to overlook the rational perspective of, yeah, there are things about this person who I don't necessarily like, but I'm going to overlook it for two reasons. Number one, I want to be with them intimately, which is the biological need, very normal. And number two, perhaps the longer I stay with them, the more I can prove to them that their way of being or their way of acting is wrong. And my way of being and my way of viewing the world and my way of acting is correct. So by showing them more love, by acting to them even nicer, or by proving to them that society at large or the majority of people in my life and their life thinks and acts differently than the way that they are, this will prove to them that they should change. Okay? So it happens at all different stages. It happens when you're dating. You're going to overlook because you think, okay, if I just make this work, then I can change them. It happens when you're in the relationship, and sometimes when you're in the relationship, it's already, your mind is like, well, I'm in this already, so I don't want to waste my time I don't want to look back on this and get out of it and say all this time that I spent with this person is wasted time. So I'm going to really convince them now that they should change, that they really need to change. Okay, so we understand very clearly that this is when you are in the relationship and you are having in mind that you would like to change that person's behavior. That's one way that relationships have this concern. The other concern, which is sometimes even more annoying and frustrating, is they want to change you. Aha, okay? So sometimes when that happens, you're very quick to say, there's no way in hell that's happening, right? So here you are, you're in your relationship, you're being yourself, and the person that you're with doesn't like you on some level. Okay, now they like you on different levels. Maybe they like you because of your looks. Maybe they like you because of your family. Maybe they like you because of your security. Maybe they like you because of your income. Maybe they like you because whatever they like you for, wherever they love you for. Maybe they love you because you have a family together. Who the hell knows? Okay, but throughout the relationship, throughout the partnership, throughout the marriage, throughout the dating process, throughout the relationship process, you have been getting criticism from them throughout the process where you need to change you in order for me to be happy, in order for me to be complete. All right? Now, this definitely is a tricky situation when the behavior that you're doing or the behavior that the other person's doing is illegal or is hurtful to yourself or to others. So we're not talking about an addiction here. We're not talking about all those type of concerns where if you continue down that path, you're going to wind up hurting yourself or hurting somebody else. Those are changes that sometimes people encounter which are new. And I get it. You love the person, you want to go ahead and see if they can get help. But what I'm talking about over here is going into something knowing that this person is acting this way or being this way and thinking that if I just talk to them enough, or I just love them enough, or if I just tell them enough, they will change, or I will change, okay? This is how many people go into relationships. And now let me tell you why this does not work, okay? When you go into a relationship with that frame of mind, you are setting yourself up for failure. Yes, you are setting yourself up for failure on two levels. The first is that anytime you have a thought in your mind that says, you should be doing this, what you're doing is you're fighting against reality, because the fact is that they're not, right? So if I tell you right now, I should be a horse, I should. I really should. Now you're going to laugh. Oh, Helly, you're just being delusional, right? Well, the fact is, I'm not a horse. Now, I can tell you I would like to become a horse one day, and you might still think I'm delusional or nuts, but I'm not fighting with reality. The reality is that I'm not. So the first thing that you want to do in general is accept your reality, because if you don't accept your reality, you wind up being unhappy with your state of being. And this is what's called radical acceptance, okay? Radical acceptance. When you radically accept somebody for who they are, you go into the relationship without wanting any change for them to occur. Now, this is kind of a crazy concept, and it's actually counterintuitive to what you might think you need to do to be in a relationship. You might think, I have to tell them. I have to tell them to do this. No. Radical acceptance really can be viewed as radical love. Because acceptance and love are very similar. Really loving someone is accepting them for all they are, who they are, and not necessarily judging them every 5 seconds for being and acting a certain way. Okay? So the idea is that what you want to do is you want to radically accept the person and not necessarily go into the relationship in trying to change them. Give me 1 second. I'm going to actually put on my headphones so that I can hear myself, and we will continue. Sorry about that, but you get to see my cool sweater. Okay? So hopefully you can still hear me now. So radical acceptance of the other person is one where you are able to fully love the person and go in without saying that they need to change in order to be in a relationship with me. And by doing that, by actually doing that, it gets them to change. This sounds really weird, right? Because you would think that I have to tell them to change in order for me to change. The truth is you don't. I want you to take a look at nature. And I want you to take a look at a butterfly. Okay, now, when the caterpillar is on a branch and you look at that caterpillar, there's no way that you're going to think that this is eventually going to turn into a butterfly, right? And the caterpillar doesn't say to itself, I gotta change, I gotta be beautiful, I can't stand the way that I look, I've gotta be different. No, it just naturally transforms into a creature that's beautiful, right? That's gorgeous. Just by accepting itself and going with the flow. So a way for you to be successful and get into and maintain a healthy, loving relationship is to sometimes do the exact opposite of what you're used to doing, which is radically accepting the person for who they are, so that they feel that real sense of love, that you're not judging them and that you're allowing them to be themselves for who they are, right? Okay. And that's one of the reasons why the program that I have is so successful, is because I'm not judging any of my clients. We work together with advice that they're given and action steps in order to get into and maintain the healthy relationships that they want, and they're getting into those. But the idea is not me saying, change, 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 because it wouldn't work. Make sense? So if you are interested in learning more about this program and seeing if it's a good fit for you and a good fit for me, then go ahead to the link that I have shared and schedule a free strategy session with me so I can learn more about you and your relationships and what you would like to achieve. And hope you have an awesome day. Take care.